Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anything Goes. My name's Degale. I'm proud to be joined by the main man himself, the man that is taking over the combat sports game, Matt the Jedi Floyd, or Matty the Jedi Floyd. Matty, how you doing, my man?
Good brother, how are you, man?
Great. It's lovely to see you. Lovely to have you back on the channel. And fight news has dropped. September 27th, main event, Bkfc. McGregor's going to be there. We're in Manchester. You're headlining, fighting a former world champion in James Degale. How did this come about?
Oh, they asked me about it about like a few weeks before the Mosley fight, actually, and yeah, because I was supposed to fight Aaron Chalmers in Perth, like where I'm from at home, and then that didn't end up happening. They scrapped that, and then they asked me about this in Manchester. So, and I said yes to it before the Mosley fight. So it only just got announced obviously a week ago, but I've known about it for a while. I just wasn't sure whether it was actually going to happen or not. And then out of nowhere, they rang me last week, and they're like, "Yeah, you're on." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, cool."
And obviously, they have a show in Perth, and Aaron Chalmers was scheduled to fight you. However, he's now gone to fight another Love Island star, another star in Jack Finch himself. Do you? I don't want to be disrespectful to Jack because Jack isn't, but do you think he took the semi or slightly easier fight instead of fighting yourself? And you've gone from Aaron Chalmers, no disrespect to him, former MMA fighter, again another Geordie Shore TV reality star to now fighting a former world champion. Does that just show your credit? And does that show, do you think it was ducking you or what do you think it was?
No, I think no. The fight got scrapped in Perth. It was no one's fault in West Australia. No one got to fight, so they wouldn't let bare knuckle fight in Perth at all.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that was it, bro. It wasn't that. And then I got offered Degale. Maybe my name got bigger in England with the Mosley fight, and that's why they gave me Degale. I'm not sure how it works. Maybe I don't know. Maybe Connor wanted me as the main event on his show. I don't know. Yeah, there's a few things have been said, but you never really know why or whatever. You just go with the flow, don't you?
And let's talk about it here. From a few weeks ago, it was also prior to your Mosley bout. I think it was a week or two before. There was a DKM Plus show down in Kingston, I believe, similar to where you last were last time. And I saw a highlight reel clip which has gone all over the internet where you've chucked a bottle in his face. He said he's going to fuck you up. He said, I'm going to fuck you up. And he tried to scrap for you. He missed a punch. Is that how it came? Was it, I don't want to say premeditated, but was there a little bit of beef beforehand or did it literally just come off of that altercation?
Um, I don't know, man. I guess if someone really wanted to fight me, I would have fought him. You know what I mean? If it was like a proper thing, but it was just like it was supposed to be a bit of shit talk at the start, and I don't think he knew the water was going to come. I guess, and then I think his reaction was real. Um, yeah, fucking I mean, like I certainly, if the fight like was on, like he actually wanted to fight me, I would have gone across the road away from everyone where there was no cameras and no one knew about it. Met him in the bush somewhere, had a proper scrap with him. I wouldn't have, no one could have stopped me if I wanted to fight him. There was only, but I wasn't really sure to be honest whether, I think his reaction was real, and I wasn't really sure whether anyone actually wanted to fight or not. So I was trying to work it out afterwards. I asked the question, like I said, if he wants to fight, we can go across the road now. Otherwise. But yeah.
And let's just say, we'll keep it PG, but if there wasn't a guy in the middle, what would have happened between you two?
Oh no, the guys in the middle didn't stop me, bro. It was like I wasn't sure whether it was for show or not either, because the
Mm.
obviously him calling me out and talking shit was obviously for show. Um, and then obviously one thing led to another. Got reactions were real and things like that, but I wasn't sure. It wasn't because one person was in there. There was definitely no one stopping me, bro. I just was being respectful, bro. The guy that was staying there is a friend of mine, and it's his show. He run that show, so no, if I wanted to fight, there's certainly no one was stopping me. It was, a respectful thing. And then yeah, and then I actually said to the guy, like, if he actually wants to fight me, like, all bullshit aside, all cameras aside, we'll go across the road and fucking away from everyone. No one has to know.
I love that. And let's talk about it there. Obviously, probably in the moment, some people were more favouring him, some people weren't favouring him. Again, do you think you've rattled him and he did start calling you a few, let's say, keep it PG, but he did start calling you a few words online that maybe you didn't appreciate, maybe he didn't appreciate, but do you think you've got under his skin and is him respectfully calling you a pussy and stuff like that, or you just take it as banter and it's just back and forth online?
Bro, this is the first. I didn't even know he was calling me names. I thought he hadn't said a thing. To be honest, I think he wanted a boxing match with me because you know I think that would have suited him better. Even I think I would have beat him in that too. But bare knuckles certainly, he's gone from having a tiny bit of a chance to having zero chance now. So I'm surprised. I'm surprised. He certainly hasn't been in a proper fight before outside of boxing. I mean, he's definitely a great boxer. He's an Olympic gold medalist. I'm not taking anything away from him. Today I'll beat him in a boxing match and in a bare knuckle fight. It's just fucking delusion, really. That like so I certainly didn't think he was calling me names because I didn't even think he would want to fight me in a bare knuckle fight, let alone fucking call me whatever he's apparently called me.
Yeah, and it shows a lot that he didn't retag you. So he's saying stuff online, but he didn't retag you. So I want to put it here.
Yeah, I definitely didn't know about it till now, bro. I wish you should have sent me this shit, bro. What's you know want me to do?
I
What's
thought
going
you
on,
saw
bro?
it. I thought you
Nah, well,
saw it, but he
nah,
clearly didn't tag you.
how come you send me everything else, bro? You're not sending me this. What's going
I,
on, bro?
I'll let you know. And also, like I said at the beginning of the interview, you're taking over the combat sports game. You said in boxing, maybe he would have had a little bit of a chance. Now he's got 0% chance at all. Bkfc, you've wanted to be in this for a few months now. You're ready, your main event. Does it just show the levels and how good does it feel that you're no longer calling names out? People are calling you out.
Yeah, it's all right, man. It was pretty fun, man. I didn't mind doing what I was doing back before. I always knew this was all, everything was sort of happening the way, everything's happened this year like I thought it would. And now we're talking to, you know, two people right now. I know that my fight after this fight is going to be massive. I'm going to fight, either one of the two biggest names going. So like I'm sure that's going to happen too now. So
And talk about taking over BKFC. So before we go on to other names, what weight is this? Like heavyweight, I take it, and how many rounds is this fight?
are you talking about this BKC
Yeah,
fight?
yeah.
Yeah,
The
sorry.
Gale
Yeah,
fight.
yeah, it's I think we agreed on like 81 or 82 kilos because he's a bit fat. He's like 85. He's like 85 or 84, walks around 84 and couldn't get down to 79 in 4 or 5 weeks or something. So I don't know what's going on there, but he wanted 82 because he's 84 or 84. I can't even remember what I was saying. Stupid. He couldn't make it any more than a couple of kilos, but um. Anyway, I just agreed to it. I was like, yeah, whatever, man. Like fucking 81, 82, whatever it was. I better check, hey. But it will be an easy weight for me to make because I just made 76.5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You came in really lean. So let's talk about that Shane Mosley fight. Obviously, I interviewed you then at the time, but now we're just over 4 weeks from that bout. Now you're going to be back out within 2 months, which is immense to show how quick your return is. How did you find the Shane Mosley fight? And do you think it's life changing? Obviously, this past year has been life changing, but what were the emotions then? And how do you feel now that it's sunk in a little bit more?
Well, I think you said it yourself. It was a very emotional fight for me. It's hard for me to answer questions on this fight because a lot of it I don't remember because it was a very emotional fight. It triggered a lot of things from when I was a kid. There's a lot more to that fight than just the fight, obviously. So yeah, it was emotional roller coaster. There's a lot of bad things like everything around. Like the fight didn't happen great as well, but the fight itself, I guess, made up for all that. But there's a lot of things like to the point where I didn't even know whether I was fighting the night before because there was that many things happening. It was a full roller coaster outside of the fight, so everything was a mash up there, and then I had to deal with the emotions of the fight. So it was crazy. I never really got 5 minutes to sit and think about it. After everything settled, a lot more sunk in and things like that. I mean, the respect shown from Shane, was probably the best after that made up for all the the shit show I guess from all the like the ups and downs I have to put up with before the fight. Not from him, from everything, you know. But yeah, so that was made it all worth it, I guess.
And talk about your ring walk because your Star Wars entrance was epic, and the Chewbacca was about, let's say, 9 feet tall, probably taller than Shaq and Nikola Jokic.
The ring walk, Star Wars. I've walked out to, you know, like came up with the Jedi name at the start of my career. We had to come up with a name because Floyd is my last name, and the people in my team were sort of saying we should try and separate yourself from Floyd. You know, Floyd Mayweather being the biggest boxer
Yeah.
back then, probably still at the moment. So yeah, so we just came up with the Jedi at the time. I do like Star Wars anyway, so it was great. I do a lot of ice baths. And people always like, how do you sit in the water for so long? You know, and I'm always just mucking around like I'm just a fucking Jedi, man. It's just a mind, you know. So it just came, we just come up with the Jedi on the spot, and yeah, and it stuck, and I'm happy with it. Like I'm glad. I love Star Wars anyway, and I've got heaps of support from all the Star Wars community around the world now, which is pretty cool. And then the second song, obviously, I my mother's from Ireland, so I've got a lot of Irish family. I didn't go to Ireland this year to visit family. I just, you know, didn't even know all these family existed. They didn't even know I existed. So boxing brought me back to my family and brought me back to Crumlin, to Ireland. So that was quite emotional for me as well, apart from the Shane Mosey thing. So the team that corners me and that all from where my mother's from, the same area, and same area as Connor, obviously, in that. So that's what brought us all together at the beginning of this year. And for the last over half a year, whatever, I've been going back there and doing a lot of my training there and catching up with family and things like that. So I came out to an Irish song, like a very, like, I think it's like one of their most popular Irish songs. And I actually really like the song. It's real catchy, man. It really, like, I've trained to it a lot of times now and things like that. So it just felt right. I came out to it after the Star Wars song. Who knows? I might do. I like that ring walk. I'll probably do the same again. But yeah, I haven't even thought about that. But yeah.
And talk about the Irish flag because it was a mixture of both, like Australian, Irish.
Oh, the flag. Well,
Yeah.
obviously, yeah, because I'm like I grew up in Australia, so I am, you know, Australian, but my mother's from Ireland, so I'm Irish from my mother, and so I guess I'm what, you know, I'm multicultural, so but I really embraced the Irish side this year. Obviously hanging out with my mother's family all year has made me, you know, and then yeah, so that's
And
what
talk
happened
about
there.
that one Irish superstar to the next and to someone that's done it all. How does it feel meeting Conor McGregor and not just meeting him, but having him embrace you, getting his team around you, getting people that's helped Conor and just talk about meeting Conor and how he's given you promo and everything like that and how appreciative and welcoming he's been to you guys and how he's helped brand the fights as well.
Yeah, he's been great, man. He didn't have to, you know, like being, you know, one of the most famous people on the planet. He doesn't have to help anyone. But yeah, you know, I got to know him through the coach. We share the same boxing coach. I think Connor started all any of his fighting with him. He walked into it for the sort of, you know, he walked into his gym when he was a boy, and I think he's had a lot to do with his life and where he is today. So, and then I met, yeah, him through through the coach, and I stay with the coach every time I'm there, and things like that. So we've all got to know each other, and yeah, and he's just done it, man. Like obviously, I don't like asking, and stuff. So he's just he didn't have to do any of that, and he has, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm obviously very thankful. You don't really ask or think about that sort of stuff, you know. It just happens, I guess.
And also now going on to the fight, obviously, how he said there was a lot of complications beforehand, and what rounds it was. It ended up being six rounds, 3 minute rounds. Probably should have been a professional fight, but talk about it and just break it down. Round one is a little bit like you said, very emotional. Then we settled into the fight. Talk about
Well,
Shane's power. Talk about your power, and just talk about the game plan and how it went because it was immense, bro, and it was unreal watching ringside.
bro, you asked me like 35 questions at once then. But it's good. I first of all, yeah, we did. I thought it was a professional fight. We thought it was 8 rounds. I think he thought it was 8 rounds. I thought it was eight. No, he thought it was six. I thought it was eight. Um, well, I can't remember now, something like that. Anyway, and then we agreed on six, but I thought it was a professional fight. It was just too late to change it all. We both obviously you can see like we both treated it. We both said like this was a fight. We both wore the same gloves, and there's no heat. It was a fight. Like we had a proper fight. Whether you want to call it, it doesn't really matter where you call a fight, what you want to call it, bro. It was the exact same as a fight. It was 3 minute rounds. I would have liked it to be longer. I would have liked to have a 10 or 12 round. I mean, he was you saw the shape he was in. Um, so yeah, but anyway, it is what it is. It was still a fight. It was a 6 rounder fight. That's all it was at the end of the day. His power is obviously, he's one of the greatest boxers of our era. So he's going to have perfect technique, which he has. So you put perfect technique with that weight behind him. And he was really like waiting for me and throwing the proper punches at the right time. So with that perfect technique and weight, obviously they're going to be, they were the hardest punches that I've felt, in my life career fighting on the street. It doesn't matter, they were hard. There's a couple of punches I remember in particular. So I've never been like when I'm in a fight situation, I've never been hit where I've gone, oh yeah, I felt that. It's just I've always just never felt anything. I've just gone, just pushed forward, and no, I've never felt anything. I've never gone, But in this fight, I remember two punches where I've gone, fuck, I felt that. I remember one in the last round in the head, and then in the stomach, I felt it. I've never been like, oh, that feeling. So now I know what them little things are, which is great because I need that. But yeah.
I love that. And talk about that. Headlining in London after this past year, the social media exposure, just bringing your name to the UK, doing all the hard work that people don't see behind the scenes. Like I said, they'll see a little clip online, they'll see your fight, but they won't understand how hard and the grit and the determination that goes into behind. And like I said, everyone says they want to be a superstar. Everyone says they want to fight Tommy, Jake, KSI. They want to fight the big names, but you've had it a dream and you've made it reality, and you made your dream come true. So talk about it now, coming out of that experience. What did you take from it, and how did it feel coming back home to Australia? Like having everyone online, and again, I'm asking another 35 questions here, but how did the reception feel coming after the fight, and how did you feel?
Um, Uh, Going to UK each time, I'm fine. I don't get jet lagged or anything. I just go straight to training the day I get there, even if I haven't slept for 2 or 3 days. And coming back, it always hurts me. For some reason, like I can't sleep. Agitated. I don't feel great for about for a few weeks. I get real disturbed, which is really strange because everyone talks about jet lag and this and that, but every time I come back, but that could be a bunch of things. So I come back and then I don't, yeah, feel great for a bit, and then I just want to know what I just want to move forward very fast to the next thing, which is what obviously I've done with this. I'm glad they rang me, I think last week or whenever it was, saying this fight was on because I was pushing and pushing and pushing to get other fights, because I wanted to just keep going, and people don't know the what happens. Like they only see 10 or 20 minutes of you, and that's all they judge you by. Like people always talk about, did he sleep the night before? His injuries, this, that. No one doesn't matter if everyone's got niggly injuries. Heaps of people didn't sleep the night before. Everyone's had an issue happen in every fight. That's what fighters, but it's hard, for me because I'm restricted. I'm over here. I've got that many issues, which I'll talk about, in a few fights time once I've done them, and then people, probably won't even believe. I think most of my stories, but people wouldn't believe it, would they? If I just told one or a couple of them, let alone all of them. The things I've had to do will be a great story to tell. Just to get these fights, to fight, to fight, to fight, to fight. It's not. Yeah, the things I've had to do it's been crazy. Even now with this fight, I wanted to go last Friday. I can't go for whatever reasons, which I'll talk about at another time. But I can't leave until only a few weeks before the fight, which I feel is unfair. Like, as in, I'm gonna like you're going in, even though I'm very confident, I am very confident going in bare knuckle, but you're going in against, one of the highest level fighters in the world. You're both two of the highest, going at it bare knuckle. And I'm getting, fucked over in all these different ways where I'm only getting to go over there for a couple of weeks. I wanted to go there, do a proper camp, things like that, but I never get to do these things. I never get the proper training. I don't have, I've always, I've got to fly there. It fucking takes me 2 days to get there and all this shit. So anyway, these are just little things, And then when I get there, I can never just come straight there. I've got to fucking takes me 3 or 4 days to get there for other fucking reasons. So, which you know about, but it's just um, yeah. I don't. I feel like maybe if I had a perfect fight where everything went right and I didn't have all these issues, maybe I wouldn't fight great. So maybe all these fucking things that keep like holding me, or all these hurdles, maybe make me better on the night. I don't know, man. Maybe it distracts me from what's really going on.
And it all makes sense in the end. And there's a famous quote: God gives his toughest battles to his toughest soldiers. And maybe, like you said, with the Sherman Cole fight, when they told you to get there at 11 a.m., then you're fighting at 11 p.m. You've been tested your whole life. You've been tested in more ways than one. And we definitely have to have a Netflix, if not a documentary, follow you around 24/7. So they not only believe the shit that you've been through, but can see everything that you've been through. And I'm going to talk about it here just before we conclude and we move on. James Degale, obviously, he's been in there with Eubank, he's been in there with Badu Jack, Andre Darrell, obviously Olympic gold medalist. What do you see of him? Obviously, he's not been active, I think, for about 6, 7 years now, but he's coming out, and there's clearly a reason he's come out for you, whether it's emotional, whether it's not, where it seems very real, very emotional. Talk about it. What do you see of him? What do you see of yourself? And I want to get a prediction from you. And how do you see the fight going? Obviously, by any means necessary, but do you want to knock him out? Do you want to make him a highlight reel meme? What do you want to do?
You've heard me in the past with boxing. I always say like you don't go for the knockout. You let it come, sort of thing with boxing. But street fighting is a lot different. You do go for the knockout more. Street fighting is a completely different sport of boxing. They're not the same. People, like a boxer who's going into a street fight or bare knuckle fight against someone that hasn't done any training is definitely going to have the advantage and win. But that's because he's done some fight training. It's street fighting is completely different to boxing. You have to be first in a street fight, no matter what. Even if you're super confident and you're the far superior fighter, you can still get caught, just like in boxing. But it's 100 times worse with a bare knuckle fight because it can be the littlest of punches, the littlest of chips, the littlest of corners that fuck you up. And you just can't fight. Like your hands being up don't mean anything anymore, really. And it's great to have your hands up, and it helps a bit, but it doesn't. It's not the same as boxing once again. Um, and yeah, as you can see from watching the bare knuckle fights, like who the champions are compared to, I mean, there have been some boxers people go that are doing good, but that there's a reason, for that too, like what I just explained before. It is two different things completely, and I'm very confident um, going into this fight. I'm not worried one bit. Um, I'm surprised that yeah he's doing this, but you know what? It's good for me, I guess. So he is, and yeah, you asked me, are you going? Yeah, I will be definitely going to knock him out as early as I can because I'm not delusional. Um, I know that the longer this fight goes, no matter how superior and confident I am, I know that the longer this fight goes, I'm gonna have more injuries because it's bare knuckle. Every chip he gets to me, to my eye, to my nose, to this, to that, it's all gonna hurt me. Um, it doesn't matter if I think he has power or not, and I'm not delusional. I know that, so I want to knock him out as quick as I can because I want to fight. Weeks later. So
Yeah.
I do want to finish it. I do want to finish this fight real early. I don't want to risk any scars or scratches or cuts or this or that. Even though I'm going on a fight, yeah. But if it happens, it happens. I'm not going to cry about it. But I want to knock him out early, hopefully, because I'd rather it not happen.